Welcome back to our program. Shoma Narayanan is my guest here on We Connect today. Now, she's the first Indian writer to have her books published by Mills and Boon, and it's my pleasure to have her here with us. Shoma, thank you very much. Now, when you actually enter the competition, you did very well, and wow, suddenly you have this contract on your plate. What excitement must that have been?
Yeah, it was like probably one of the most thrilling things that ever happened to me.
Right. So. You've got 2 young children.
That's right.
I'm looking here at somebody who's a full-time banker, a full-time mother, full-time writer. Are there enough hours in the day for you?
I mean, one of the things I've learned from my husband is to be organized. So I'm still nowhere near as good at it as he is, but I have now started kind of slicing up my day. So when I'm in office, I don't think about writing. I can't not think about the kids. But,
okay, yes, that's true. That's a wonderful thing to say. Yeah. But when you actually get down to writing, I mean, our idea of somebody who writes is somebody who locks himself up or herself in an attic, doesn't want to meet anybody, wants to go out into the wilderness, sit under the trees and write or whatever, run away, get away from it all. I mean, how are you coping with this?
No, I write usually on a beanbag with kids around me and, my husband watching TV and just reduce the volume a bit, I can't think.
Right. So would you say that you're kind of getting there in your stories and, managing to do all of these things at the same time?
Yeah, so it's tough sometimes. So when I actually want to think out the concept, that I usually do late at night or on Saturdays. But the regular flow of writing and editing, and there's a fair amount of work around that as well, right? Because you need to do the final proofreading and copy editing and all of that. So that I can do pretty much anywhere in an airport.
Okay, so you've got 4 books on the cards now, right? So at what stage are you in writing? Can one actually, I'm totally uninitiated in what you do, can one actually be writing like a little bit of book 1, a little bit of book 3, a little bit of book 4 all simultaneously? Or do you actually, concentrate on this book, let's get this done with, let's have it out and up?
The latter, because even the editor advises that you concentrate on one book at a time. For book 3 and book 4, I submitted the synopsis together. So I have the ideas for both books very clear in my head, along with the names of the characters, what's going to happen and all of that. But the actual writing I'm doing in a very serial and organized way, one after.
System. After all, you're a banker. I bet it plays a great role in what you're doing. Now you've started this kind of writing. Right. Mushy would be the wrong word to use, but I dare to use it with you. Do you believe that at the end of your 4 books, if you got something else on your plate to write about, would that be easy as a transition, or do you think you'd like to stick to what you're doing here?
I think I would be able to do something different, so probably less of the happy ending and have some dark pieces in the middle, but I think my style of writing isn't likely to change because it's light and frothy, and so I don't see myself writing something very serious or say a historical novel or something of that sort. Right. I don't see myself writing.
Right. Mills and Boon, by its very nature, it's a tiny book. It's very simply written. It's very easy to read.
That's right.
Is that what you actually feel, and is that why you enter the competition in the first place?
No, actually, like I said, I've always wanted to write.
Right. Yes.
And I did write a couple of short stories earlier on which got published. Mm-hmm. And because life has been generally very busy, I didn't like the concept of just writing something and sending it unsolicited to a publisher because you pretty much...
It'll be in the waste paper basket,
exactly.
Or in the delete box.
Yeah, so then why put in all that effort? So when I saw this ad that Mills and Boon was actually looking for Indian authors, I said, okay, so these guys are actually looking, so they're actually going to read the stuff, So then I did, and I'd read a fair number of the books earlier in college. And
so you're very much a bit of a trailblazer here, because obviously, being the first Indian to be actually commissioned to do these books, you could be really starting a huge, whole new trend in our country for young writers.
I hope I do, but right now, like I was telling you earlier, that it's just all kind of sinking in. It's just so new to me. It's very different from what I've been doing so far. So it's all just sinking in.
Right. The short stories. With those also love stories, because I haven't read them, so I'm asking.
No, so the first one, so they had an element of love romance or whatever, but they were more of a, short thriller kind of thing with a twist at the end. It was that kind of...
Are you romantic?
Yes, in patches.
Yes? I would like to have your husband here on this program and ask him that question. Okay, now you're going to have these 4 books. By when will the last of your books, now your first book is only just out, you know, in the stores around the country. When does your last book come out? How much time do you have ahead?
I'm not really sure because the second one will be out in January. So sometime in the course of 2013. So I think the 4th one should be out by the end of 2013.
Right. I know it's just out. I was just going to ask about feedback, not from the publishers, but from your friends, from people, you know, sometimes the people closest to us are the most critical, which is very wonderful if it's constructive. So have you actually begun to get that now?
Yes, so I actually got my first, so to speak, external feedback from one of the journalists I spoke to yesterday, and it was very positive, so I'm very thrilled because I'm slightly superstitious about that kind of stuff. So I feel, you know, it's the first expert, so to speak, who's kind of given me feedback. As far as my friends and colleagues go, yes, I've got all kinds of feedback.
Right.
So
when people give you feedback, do they actually offer some constructive criticism? Because in our business, in television, you have people who will criticize you but not necessarily give you a real solution or some kind of constructive criticism. So is that the way it works for you?
Yes, so I have these 2 very close friends, one Bangalore based and one Bombay. So I sent the book to them, you know, as like, you know, so in marketing, I did a stint in marketing with the bank. So, you know, you do this test marketing of
yes, of
ideas,
course.
Concept testing and so on. So I used that idea and I said, okay, you guys do read MB, so, you know, will you just read it and tell me what you think? Both of them give extremely constructive feedback. So one of them was very, very positive. So Parumita, that's one of my friends. So she was like really positive about it. And the other girl, she told me, so this is Vishpala, she told me bluntly, okay, this section is really dragging. I didn't know where the hell you were going. So I got really bored. So cut it out. And then I got my editor's feedback. After that, it said exactly, I mean, she said it very sweetly, but she said exactly the same thing. So then after that, I forced Vishpala to read every book,
right, okay, so she is now your permanent critic, right?
Yes.
Constructive critic here.
That's right.
When you look back at your own career, I'm just thinking about this banking part of it. How do they view you in the bank now? You must be their local celebrity, right? Go to HSBC Bank, you'll find this young lady there, you know, etc., etc. How is it working for you in the office?
Well, I had actually kept it pretty much under covers in the beginning, but then because, you know, I'm a full-time employee there, I needed HR approval, my boss's approval. I needed the public affairs guys to, you know, certify that was okay and whatever. So 3 people get to know him.
The whole bank gets to know. I'll bet they're very proud of you, really.
Yeah, actually, you know, I somehow had this thing that they'd probably think I was doing something frivolous and, you know, like, why are you doing this? You should be concentrating on being, you know, the next big retail banker or whatever. Right. But they've been very positive. Right. I mean, really, really positive.
Well, Shoma, time for us to take another very short break. And we'll get right back with you here on WeConnect. So please don't go anywhere.